After all the money, all the hype, all the 92 Mets won was the Ishtar Award. Spring training turned into a hard copy telethon, and it just kept getting worse. 90 losses, less than 1.8 million fans, les miserables. To be fair, the 92 Mets were Kevin Bass batting cleanup. Brett Saberhagen hurt his finger, John Franco his elbow. Doc Gooden was but months out of the hospital. Bonilla needed surgery, and when Howard Johnson's migration season ended August 2nd, he had 3 operations. This spring, Bonilla has dropped nearly 30 pounds. Hojo is healthy, and most everyone is optimistic.
I didn't want to harp on what happened last year, and I said, you know, it's just like anything else. And I think the analogy might be somebody running a race. If you constantly look back at somebody who's behind you, you can't run the race properly.
Last year really aged me, so to speak. I feel like I've been in New York for quite a long period of time. I feel like a different person. I mean, I'm ready to handle anything that comes my way. You know, physically and mentally, I'm ready to go.
The Mets found out the hard way that winning teams aren't made up of names, but players who complement one another. The David Cone trade began the reshuffling, as it gave them what they needed: a young, flamboyant center fielder in Ryan Thompson, and a tough second baseman in Jeff Kent. Next came Tony Fernandez, and from there, complementary parts: Frank Banana, Mike Maddox, 278 lifetime hitter Joe Orsulak. All of a sudden, the Mets no longer look like they're ill-conceived. Perhaps the most pleasant comeback this spring has been Coleman, who after a winter of intense rehab work thinks his 2-year battle with hamstring pulls, 5 stints on the DL limited to 143 games in 2 seasons, is over. Put Coleman and Fernandez in front of Hojo, Bonilla, and Eddie Murray, and this suddenly is a far different offensive team. They think Kent can give them 15 homers, and Orsulak can pick up Thompson if and when the kid endures growing pains. Last year, their double-play combination hit a combined .218. Kent and Fernandez are offensive threats. Not only that, but now the Mets are strong all the way up the middle and have Johnson back where he belongs at third base. But they have a major concern. If Murray, Kent, Fernandez, or Johnson were to get hurt, they'd be in big trouble. Gooden is so rejuvenated this spring that he's wearing his birth year on his back. He may never again be the young Doc, but 2 years off surgery, he is a horse. He's always accepted the responsibility of being the leader of the staff. The real ace, likely, will be Saberhagen. It's an odd year, and in odd years, he's 74 and 30. Sid Fernandez matured into a dominant third starter, 4th in the league in quality starts. Tanana was signed to be to this big three what Charlie Leibrandt was to Atlanta's. Pete Shurek made major strides down the stretch. Depth here is also a problem. Lose any one of the big three, there's no replacement. Franco guarantees he will be back. And while his setup crew, led by Purple Heart Jeff Ennis, is all right-handed, at least they are 4 distinctively different looks. The 92 Mets were never as good as they were built up to be. Then again, they were never as bad as they appeared after the deluge. The 93 Mets are stronger, the division weaker. Now, if they keep Gooden, Saberhagen, Franco, Johnson, Bonilla, and Coleman healthy, they will contend. But whether or not the Mets win this year will depend on 2 things they've yet to prove. They can stay healthy, and they can handle New York. This is Peter Gammons, ESPN.
You gave us a try, now hit subscribe. Be sure to YouTube responsibly and hit that like button if you like what you see, because there's plenty of content to come.